Welcome back to the Cheap Seats. We are live at Beck's Travel Plaza, located next to Lincoln Hampton Inn, west side. Come out here and stock up on all your beverages for the Super Bowl here next weekend. Yeah. You got all kinds of Miller Lite products, Bud Light, Natty Light, Keystone Light, cases for sale. So get on out here and pick up the new Budweiser's Black Crown, a 6% beer for only $10.99 a 12-pack. And get you some energy drinks out here as well. And for another half hour while we're broadcasting live, they have $1 Godfather's breakfast pizza slices and free fountain drinks. So you got a half hour to get out here and get those specials. And
I'm back.
Well, yeah,
sorry,
well, they go.
Sorry, man. I was eating all these donuts.
Well, I'm hoping they go about 5 minutes over, because as soon as we take off these headphones, I'm gonna have to go get some of these slices of pizza.
I've cleaned the frosting off 6 donuts.
Well, I
think that's going to upset anybody.
that case was full when I sat down, and now there's not many left.
What were they thinking putting me next to these things? That's just ridiculous. I don't know if Joe's getting it all on camera, but I'm hoping not. Hey, we've got a few things to talk about. Lady Railers basketball breakfast, Sunday, January 27th. That's tomorrow morning from 7 to 11:30 a.m. Enjoy pancakes, biscuits and gravy, sausage, juice, coffee, and milk. Cost, guys, $7 a person, $4 for kids 5 to 10 years of age. Under 5 is it's free. I apologize. But it's all you can eat. Plus, to be honest, it's not really about the food. It's more about supporting your community and supporting the kids. I try to go to as many of these things as possible, just because, well, to be honest, you get out and you get to see some people you don't normally get to see in other settings. You know, me with the furniture store, I see a lot of people in the furniture store, and, you know, I'll see them at IGA, and it's always good to see them away from my environment because you can talk to them differently, you know. Right. It's always great to see everybody.
And it's great food, and it's all you can eat, and highlighted right there. All you can eat. So
that was actually
if you come
mine, obviously.
If you come out of there hungry, something's wrong. But
yeah,
get out there and support the ladies, Lady Railer basketball.
And again, that's tomorrow morning from 7 to 11:30 a.m. at the KC's.
KC's, yep. Support them. New coach this year for the Lady Railers, trying to get that program turned around. So get out there and show your support.
You know what? We've got some really good girls basketball players and good ones coming up too. Yeah. So I don't think it's a tall task for her, but I mean it's always good. So an event like this helps get some money going, where it makes it easier to get some things that obviously every team needs, and that all these teams require some funding.
Yeah, there are several expenses that they have to raise money for. You know, a lot of times when they go on a faraway trip, they buy their supper for them, and just little stuff like that to kind of ease the pocketbook on the parents from shelling out so much money. Do a little bit of fundraising and help out that way. So get out there.
And we mentioned a little bit earlier, it's a Railer Rock and Shout Blackout February 9th at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium, as the Railers take on Glenbrook South at 6:30. Show your Railer pride when you sponsor the Railer cheerleaders with your business or name on the back of the blackout tees. T-shirt levels of sponsorship, you can choose from a $200, $100, and $50 sponsorship, and you can pre-order your shirts for only $10 now by contacting your JV or varsity cheerleaders and Coach Lauren Morris at 732-4131. So don't miss out. To be honest, I joined the ranks on this yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Contacted them, and to be honest, it's a nice little advertisement. Last year when I did it, it seems like the girls. It seems like they chucked out a lot of T-shirts. I don't know how many it was. I think it was over 500 T-shirts or something.
Well, they're only $10 too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great price for a T-shirt, and it's going to have some kind of, something on the front, obviously, and some, your supporters on the back, and $10, you can't beat that.
Black T-shirt, I'm positive Bright Eye Green screen printing is doing all the work, so it's going to be a good quality shirt and good quality screen printing for you advertisers. Like I said, I jumped on board and I saw people wearing them in the summer.
Yeah.
So I think I saw 3 or 4 of them in one weekend So, they're obviously very good, very attractive shirts to jump on that again. Just get a hold of the cheerleaders, Coach Lauren Morris at 732-4131. Back to some sports.
Back to sports.
Jump into some NFL action. We've got a big game coming up known as the Super Bowl, or you could call it the Harb Bowl, or maybe brother versus brother. Baltimore against the 49ers, or good versus evil, if you will.
Yeah, and didn't you pick the 49ers to make it always? Was it Denver and the 49ers?
I had Denver and the 49ers, so I failed miserably, and I had Denver winning. So kind of rough day for me. But the 49ers are there, so at least I got one side of the bracket there.
Yeah.
I did, when I was calling it, I did say Baltimore was going to be tough this year. I didn't think they were going to be quite this tough.
I didn't think they would go to Denver, beat Denver, then go to New England, beat New England.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just a team of destiny. Ray Lewis, in his last year in his career, he's getting the team motivated. He's a very good motivational speaker.
Yeah.
And he gets the team ready to play, and that's his focus right now. So
they've had some of the the locker room speeches that he gives, and it's very sermon-esque.
Yeah.
And he is an extremely passionate man. He is obviously, I'll be honest, in my mind, he may be the greatest middle linebacker of all time when it comes to all-around game, and that's arguably, you can, it's hard to go across time and whatnot, but at the same time, he hits so hard, he's so fast, and he's into every single play. You don't see him miss much, and you don't see him miss tackles.
No, and it's not going to be a game where he's going to be the decisive factor. You're going to have Ray Rice step up. Joe Flacco's going to have a good game.
Yep.
And the receivers are going to have to play well. They're going to have Torrey Smith. He's going to have a good game. Jacoby Jones, if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't even be there. So, it's not going to be centered on Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Other guys are going to have to step up. Don't get me wrong. He's the head of that team, and he's the focal point. But other guys are going to have to step up, and then you got the 49ers. Just Colin Kaepernick. Wow.
Yeah.
Where did he come from? He's started about the last 5 games of the regular season, maybe not even that, and
very controversial,
and just it's like he's been playing forever. And I don't understand it. Everybody's going to this read option, and
it's good for a couple years.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like you look at some of the good players that could do that kind of thing. They could also pass well. You think of Randall Cunningham, maybe a Steve Young. Those are obviously kind of different level guys. But Kaepernick kind of shows that a little bit. I'd say more so than a Michael Vick. Michael Vick really, he was more of a run quarterback and pass if he had to, or pass if he could get away with it. Kaepernick really does. He likes to pick people apart, but they have designed plays for him to get out of the pocket as well, and he's a big guy.
Yeah, and you hit the nail right on the head. And you have to be able to throw the ball. You have to be a passer and able to run that type of offense.
Yep.
Russell Wilson, a great passer. He can run that type of offense. Obviously, Colin Kaepernick. And you mentioned it earlier, Michael Vick. Not a very good passer. So, they're going to read the run first, pass second. So you got to have, all the tools to do it. But like you said, other defenses are going to pick up on that. And it's just, an offense that – and it's so weird that offensive coordinators are constantly trying to find something different and some kind of throw some kind of hiccup out there. And this year it's the read option, and other teams have to plan for it, even if you don't run it, and that's taken away other time to plan for something else. So.
And I think that really, long term, you can't get away with it because the linebacker, well, not only linebackers, the defensive linemen are way too fast in this league. You make one wrong step, they hit you blindside or whatnot, and all of a sudden your knees don't work anymore.
Yeah.
And it's happened at hundreds of guys in the NFL. I mean, it's, well, it actually happened to Randall Cunningham.
And Robert Griffin this year.
Well, Robert Griffin this year, yeah. And they basically, after that, well, we'll see on Robert Griffin, but with Cunningham, he basically became, he had a golden arm. I mean, he could just launch it, and he basically became that throwing quarterback that, you dream of. We'll see what happens with Robert Griffin. Obviously that was a really bad injury, and see how he can bounce back. Kaepernick is a little bit different. They really don't run a lot of design run plays, but they throw enough of them in there that it complements their strong running game. Mm-hmm. It complements their probably one of the top offensive lines in football, if not the very top. Right. Definitely, I'd take one of any of their players on the Bears. I mean, it's just their offensive line's stout.
Another thing that does, if you can run that read option, it's going to freeze that outside linebacker to where now Vernon Davis can run the middle of the field and be wide open. So look for him to have a big game. Was it February 3rd?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, February 3rd. And, and that's what a lot of teams are going to now, that big tight end that can run the middle of the field and catch the ball. And, you look at San Francisco Niners with Vernon Davis, and then you got Baltimore with Pitta, and it's just, that's they're
good
getting,
combination.
Yeah,
Plus
they're getting more receptions than some of the receivers. So.
Now, it looks like the Ravens are underdogs by 3.5. What do you read into that?
Well, I don't know, but a lot of the playoff games past, I mean, they've had it right on the money as far as point spread and, the over and unders. Yeah. I don't know how they do it, but, man, it's frustrating because you think one thing, and, I mean, it's right there.
Oh, even at halftime, a couple of them, it looked like it was going to be a all of a sudden spread, and then it's sucked into the gut.
You're kind of thinking in the back of your mind, are these games fixed? Because that is too – I mean, it's just they hit it right on the nail. And what was it? 49ers covered. They missed it by like a half a point.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, but somebody over in Vegas who's making these predictions, man, they've got it figured out.
They've got a pretty good system.
But you say 3.5?
3.5 points.
Is it going to be a high-scoring game, a low-scoring game?
I'm going to go high-scoring, actually. I'm going to go against what everybody's thinking. Everybody's saying it's going to be a defensive slugfest. I don't know. I think 49ers are going to get an early lead, and I think they're going to end up pulling away.
Well, yeah, that's they usually give up a lead. They were down 17-0 to Atlanta, and you think, Atlanta's going to they're running away with this. It's not even a game. And then before you know it, it's tied up. They go ahead, and it's they some good games last week and some good games the week before. So the playoffs,
playoffs have been fun to watch this year.
That first week was kind of that wasn't
high scoring. There wasn't no defense, that's for sure.
So, but the last couple weeks, there's been some good football. And
so if you're going to make your pick, 49ers or Baltimore, and give me a score or give me a spread,
I would have to take the Niners.
All right.
3.5. It'd probably be about a field goal game.
All right.
But I'd take the Niners. They can win by – they'll win by 6.
All right. I think the Niners are going to win by more than a touchdown, to be honest. So, and we'll see if Ray Lewis can maybe make that.
So all you people placing bets on this, you just say the opposite of what I
say,
and you're going to win some money.
Yeah. Bettors be warned that usually when I pick stuff, it doesn't go quite the way it's supposed to. We're going to take a quick commercial break, pay some bills. We're going to come back, but for the last about 15 minutes, guys, we got free fountain drinks and $1 Godfather's Pizza. And if you're feeling a little sluggish today, we've got the Amp Energy drinks, and it's 6 exciting flavors for only 99 cents.
99 cents. So it doesn't say there's a limit, so you can come in and stock up. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats here at Beck's Travel Plaza, located next to the Lincoln Hampton Inn on Lincoln's west side. You have
That's the stuff right there.
Yeah, you've got 12 minutes to get here to get their morning special. $1 Godfather's breakfast pizza slices and free fountain drinks. So now you have 11 minutes. So hurry on out here. Great deal. I know I'm going to be trying it out here as soon as we're done here.
And I'm done with another 5 donuts. So, unfortunately, guys, thin pickings on the donuts. But I'm sure they'll bring some more from the back.
During break, you must be really quick because I don't know if people are sneaking in behind us to get them or you're grabbing them.
I won't let them.
Their donut sales today are down, so get out here and get that $1 Godfather's breakfast pizza.
Or a free drink out here. I'm sipping on a coffee right now. Hey, guys, tomorrow morning, Sunday, January 27th, at the Knights of Columbus, serving from 7 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. pancake and biscuits and gravy, sausage, juice, milk, coffee. Cost $7 per adult. $4 for kids ages 5 to 10 and 4 years of age and under. We're going to do that for free. Get out there and support your Lincoln Lady Railers basketball. Well, man, how about some news that people probably won't be caring too much about, but we're going to throw it at you anyways. Tiger Woods is going into this weekend leading at the Torrey, first time in 3 years.
Wow. So you think this might be his year? You think he maybe...
last year they were thinking, oh, it's going to be a tough road comeback. Maybe he's back. I tell you what, we talk about it. Josh and I have talked about it quite a few times that it's so much more fun to watch PGA or to have anything to do with the PGA when Tiger Woods is healthy. And we haven't seen it for a couple years now. And the PGA has, their numbers are way down.
Who is the other young kid that kind of came to last year? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. I think he's Scottish.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, Rory
McIlroy. Yeah. And he's another kind of young phenomenon that might push Tiger a little bit to
he's pushing
get better.
He is world's number one. Yeah. And he, like you said, he is pushing everybody. Other news around that you may not care about. Say it ain't so. One of the oldest plays in baseball, it's kind of a little bit of a trick play, is going out the window. The fake to third, throw to first is now being ruled a balk.
Now, is that baseball wide or is that just MLB?
That's MLB. Now it'll trickle down though. It'll be baseball wide.
That's going to be a tough habit to break because you see that quite a bit, really.
It's one of my favorites.
You got a guy on first and third or even bases loaded.
Yeah,
it's usually first and third. They're trying to keep that guy closer to the bag.
It's one of my favorites because at least once a year it gets somebody, and I wait for it. It's like it's one of those things that every year I've DVR'd it a couple times and watched it a couple times extra just because it makes me laugh. It's one of the funniest things. It should never happen. The guy should never get picked off, but it does, and it happens at least once a year. Other news, Yankees GM Cashman says that Alex Rodriguez may miss a season after hip surgery, and the weighing's going on.
He's what, 36, 37?
Yeah, right in there, yeah.
He may be done with baseball, period. That's not just something that you...
Guys, the one thing I can tell you is I love to see something like this. Not for the fact... don't get me wrong. I really like A-Rod as a baseball player. But I really despise the thought that... I love what's going on here, actually. This is kind of blows everything up about the steroid things. He abused steroids. When you abuse steroids, bad things are going to happen in your body. It's not meant to happen. What steroids does to your body, it breaks it down to an extreme. And now this guy is under the age of 40, and he's going to have he's had bad knee issues. He's had bad hip issues. He's had bad shoulder issues. Like you said, he may be done. He's definitely not the A-Rod of old.
Oh, no.
You've seen that the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And, a hip surgery.
And not being on the steroids now, it's going to be hard to recover.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to recover.
Because your muscles just aren't going to react because they're used to having that extra kick and that extra pick-me-up to help heal, and now that's not there. And
you know what? Things like this is going to weigh on the Hall of Fame committee even more, which, in my mind, baseball has the only legit Hall of Fame. Yeah. It is the only one that'll say, you know what, yeah, you have those numbers, but you know what, you don't deserve to be in because we don't feel it.
Year,
Proof of it this year with a couple of the biggest names not even getting, 60% of the vote. And then a couple guys that may have deserved to be there, but, I respect what the writers did this year and not voting anybody in for the simple fact of that you look at what they did, the guys that may have been clean, they had teammates that did.
Right.
You know, Craig Biggio played with a couple people that were positive for the supplements and whatnot. So Craig Biggio didn't blow a whistle on him. And, you know, I know he's part of a union, and you can't per se do that. But something should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, and his numbers were legit. And
yeah.
I would love to see Craig Biggio, you know, get in as a second baseman, but you know,
or a catcher, or maybe an outfielder, wherever he wanted to play. To be honest, that guy was phenomenal.
But yeah, and it's can't remember what we're talking about.
Yeah,
now.
well, Ken Caminetti was a teammate of his and was MVP the prior year, and was said he did the steroids and talked about how many of his teammates knew it. So, like I said, I respect the writers for basically throwing them all under the bus for at least 1 year. Next year, I'm sure, to be honest, for Biggio, he'll be getting in. Other news, again, that you may not care about, the Chicago Cubs say no to the rooftop owners on a proposed scoreboards wrapping around basically the venue of Wrigley Field, with Wrigley Field having some expansion that has actually been, I believe, approved by the city.
Yeah.
The people in the rooftop owners, I guess is what you'd call them, had proposed a big billboard system wrapping around Wrigley Field. What they're offering is to give the Cubs and the city a combination of $10 to $20 million for the sponsorships on those billboards. Huge money. I mean, that's pretty good money.
Mr. Ricketts is thinking otherwise. Why make money off something that's not yours? You know? The rooftop owners, I've never been on the rooftops, but I heard it's a great experience. But 90% of the people on the rooftop, they're not watching the game anyway. They're there for the social atmosphere.
That's what I was going to tell you. Yeah, the rooftops aren't. That's not a baseball
no.
thing. It's a cool experience.
Yeah, but
it is not a baseball.
Yeah, you're not going to the rooftops to go watch a baseball game. No. You're going to the rooftops just to be in that atmosphere and that environment. And another stat that I've heard the other day is 40% of the people that come into Wrigley are from out of Chicago. You know, they're not in Chicago. They're downstate or somewhere else, and that's a huge number. So the mayor, he's wanting to get on board with the Cubs and make this, you know, better to bring in more revenue because, you know, you got out-of-towners coming in.
I tell you what's going to bring in more revenue. You want to make more revenue for the Cubs and make them you have to legitimately win. You do. You know, you've topped it out. You can't get any more revenue out of what you got. So you're at a plateau. You have to spike it in some way. If you get some more fans in the seats, you've increased that revenue. Right. If you can do that, if you increase that revenue base, the Ricketts are all about putting the proper amount of dollars towards a team. They'll put an equal amount of dollars towards a team if they're making that much more. Right. So they have to have that revenue to put into the team. You're seeing it right now. They have cut back. They will explode one of these days. And being a Cardinal fan, I know it's coming. You know, they're going to have a couple really big signings, but who knows how long that's down the road. They see this coming. They know there is going to be a revenue increase, and it's just right around the corner.
Right. Well, baseball is right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers meet here in about 3 weeks. 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah, sun shining. It's about 30 degrees out, and baseball's getting ready to fire up.
It's like you said, it's about that time. Again, guys, tonight, big basketball game. I will be there. I'm hoping I can get a good seat. I don't know who I have to pay to do that.
Just get there early.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Go over the times with them again for the game tonight?
JV game will start at 5, and varsity game will start roughly 6:30, depending on you know, JV game how it goes. If it goes in overtime, obviously going to be a little late. But yeah, get on out there and also get out here to Beck's today. The pizza soda deal is about to expire here in 2 minutes, but they still have Miller Lite, Bud Light, Natty Light, Keystone at good discount prices for a case, so stock up for the Super Bowl. And that's still going on all day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to false advertise.
No, bring it.
People come in saying, well, hey,
big
Scott
specials.
said that these were going on, but they're not. But, yeah, get on out here. Super Bowl next weekend.
Yep.
Stock
big
up.
Game tonight, though.
Big game, yeah.
Big game tonight.
First things first.
We need to get this win under the belt and secure maybe a Central State Aid championship again for Lincoln Railers and Coach Neil Alexander. Guys, we're closing it up. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again next week.